In fact, what I learned from the enforcement staff, and I think they've said this publicly, there's now they've heard some NFL players that have been used by their agents to get connected with college players. So these agents have either given them a discount on their agent fees, or given them money in order to help them set up meetings or throw parties where they can invite the college players. And that's where UNC players got involved. Oh, and that's another thing. It's probably like 3A, 3B. Your players want to say, hey, I'm going down to South Beach to party. That's a red flag. Now, I'm from Miami. I don't go down to South Beach to party because it's, there's a lot of stuff going on down there. But for student athletes, that normally means that the party is normally set up, being thrown, or being organized or sponsored by some person or entity that may be connected with an agent or a sports marketer or whoever. And those parties are being set up, one, to have fun, but also to set up a way innocently to get to build those connections. What you'll see is, again, as I mentioned earlier, you'll see football focus group or some type of major initiative coming out, major enforcement to deal with football recruiting. There are a lot of football related issues that have been going underneath the radar. So you're, for example, paying for scouting services in lieu of exchange for getting commitment from the recruit. I would think that, as many of us know, there is a definition for men's basketball, individuals associated with their prospect. That basically means anybody, okay? From parents, relatives, significant others, to trainers, to high school counselors, non-classic coaches. That definition has been in basketball, for a year or so. I would believe that once DNC completes their football research, that definition will be applied to football as well, either in whole or some type of revised format. So those are just things off the top of my head that, from what I hear from the staff and looking at some of the major cases that are coming out, that schools need to be a little bit more cognizant of and focusing on. Because I think if you're out of the Power 6 conferences, you think that, well, all that stuff doesn't apply to me. That doesn't apply to me. That only deals with the BCS schools. Well, that's not true. Every school will have at least one high-profile athlete, right, at some point in recent years. What I mean by high-profile athlete, that means a one-and-done student athlete, a men's basketball one-and-done student athlete that is projected to or has received a major national athletic award, someone who's projected or has already been drafted in a major league draft, someone with an unverified athletics history. Those are primarily foreign students. Some student athletes who have received significant pro attention, or someone who is projected to be, high on some type of national recruiting list. Or, those are going to be your high profiles. And sometimes when you have a high profile prospect, they may not become high profile once they come on campus. Or you may have some student athletes that become higher profile once they come on campus. So you have to watch out for those student athletes, because if you look at the vast majority of these high-profile major investigations, if you look at it, they're coming from these high-profile athletes. So those should be the ones that you need to target first. Any other questions?
Thank you. I do have one.
Yes.
I have one about interviewing.
Yes.
And I know you said to interview them somewhere where they're comfortable. How do you feel about cold calls or just showing up to where they are just to, I want to know? How do you feel about it? Do you condone it, or?
No, I use cold calls all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It depends upon why I'm doing it. If I know that if I don't want them to coordinate their story with somebody, then I might use multiple investigators.
So they're all kind of almost interviewing at the same time, so
Right.
they can't cross that.
Right.
You can't do that.
If I know someone's dodging me,
Mhm.
because what I try to do is I try to schedule interviews,
Yeah.
but if I know they're dodging me, and especially out of town, then I'll fly out, with the NCA, and we'll, I remember camping at some guy's house in some backwoods place in outside of rural Georgia. We were out there the entire day waiting for him to come home. Finally came home, we interviewed him in his backyard with gnats and stuff flying around, but that's where he felt comfortable. But we waited. It was cold call. We had been calling and emailing and sending him letters, and we knew that he didn't want to talk. So I knew once we got there and he saw us face to face, he was going to talk. He actually did talk. So it's not a really hard, fast rule. That's why an investigation is not it's not a science, it's an art. And that's why you have the investigation plan, mapping out all your interviews, witnesses, the ones you want to interview, and in what order. Because sometimes, the little order I said, start from the person with least amount of information to most, you might have to adjust that because sometimes someone might be going out of the country and you may not get that person, so you need to interview that person right then and there. Or you might need to interview, person A first, although you'd rather interview them later on, but you need to get that person's testimony in order to interview this other person. So it just all depends, but that's why one of the major mistakes a lot of investigators make is not mapping out the investigation plan before they start. And you always revise it as you're getting more information and interviewing people. Because, trust me, there's a lot of times that I've gone to interviews, and I say, you know what, I'm only going to interview this person on three topics, and they end up telling me some other allegation. I'm like, oh gosh, Any other questions? All right, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to, there's my information is on the handout. Thank you.
I would just like to thank Michael for coming in and speaking with us on behalf of NCAA hot topics. We'd like to give you this a little token from State University.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right.